People change a lot of things. They dye their hair, they diet themselves to look like a model, they take steroids to build muscles, they get breast implants and nose jobs to resemble their favorite movie stars. Yeah, mine is not real. I'm a nose fetish. I wanted to look like him. They change names, jobs, wives, husbands. They change religions, political parties, countries, nationalities. Virtually everything today is acceptable. Gender, on the other hand, we still have problems with that. And the problem with that is that not everyone has watched Harry Potter. Because there is one thing that Harry Potter can teach us, is that no one should live in a closet. A few years ago, a 12-year-old kid named Patrick Mitchell begged his mother to begin taking estrogen hormones, after doctors diagnosed him with gender dysphoria, a condition where a person experiences distress because there is a mismatch between their biological sex and their gender identity. Gender identity is not the same as sexual orientation. It seems very difficult to understand, but it's actually very, very simple, because gender identity is who you are, sexual orientation is who you love. Some transgender people do undergo hormone therapy or sexual reassignment surgery. Others do not. The same way bisexual individuals sometimes sleep with men and other times with women. It all comes down to something very, very, very personal. Feelings. And this is why you should not mock my love for Amanda. At the age of 10, Mitchell's mother takes him to see several professionals who then eventually suggested to start transitioning. At this point, only 10, Mitchell starts growing his hair and starts taking hormones, which cause his body to grow breasts. But 2 years later, at the age of 12, Mitchell changes his mind. Now, at the age of 12, he has stopped taking hormones and he will have to revert back to his original body with an operation to remove excess breast tissue. An operation that he was not meant to have in the first place. Now, I know some of you might get angry at me for not being progressive enough here. But while I accept and understand all sorts of decisions an adult can take, a 10-year-old, a 12-year-old, a 14-year-old kid is not an adult. Is a kid. Taking estrogen hormones is not as easy as you might think. You know, you take a pill and you grow boobs. Because the majority of breast cancers are very much sensitive to estrogen, meaning that estrogen promotes tumor growth. And these cancers are called hormone receptor positive breast cancer. As a father, there is no way that I would have my kid taking any risk at that age. Instead, I would rather try to convince them to be patient. And if there is a problem in the environment they're living in, I'd rather change my city, my job, in order to make them feel comfortable. Of course, there are cases in which the child is simply not comfortable with their body. But in many other cases, the child is indoctrinated by their parents. And to me, this is child abuse. For example, now I'm gonna show you an interview. This is an interview with the world's youngest transgender boy, who just happened to have a transgender mom, meaning her father is now becoming a woman. And one thing you will notice in the interview I'm gonna show you is that the interviewer starts the interview telling the kids that they are trans and not asking them how they feel. And the parent is basically answering and manipulates the kids' questions. For example, in the clip I'm gonna show you, the mother asks the child, do you like doing quiet things, kind of like boring things like girls, or fun boy activities? And of course the child chooses the fun boy activities, because children react to the word fun.
So you are a transgender boy, you know what that means?
So you were born a girl, but you feel like a boy, right? That kind of means you're transgender. Okay? And that's okay, but that's just the term for it. Do you like doing quiet girly activities, or do you like jumping around and being crazy and tackling everybody?
Boy activities.
Boy activities. Most trans people will know, I don't know if everybody else will, is you have to go to psychologists to
affirm it, yeah.
To affirm it.
Yeah, of course.
So we haven't affirmed it.
They don't want it to just be a phase and then have the kid go through different hormones and all that stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we haven't gone that far, but we're trying to do our best at the house, and the more it progresses, the more we're going to be proactive about it.
When I was young, I had a male friend that showed non-conforming behavior, and his mom was okay with him. And his father had that old-fashioned reaction that all fathers used to have when asked about their gay kid. Yeah. Still, even if it's still awkward for his father, they're always been a healthy family. And my friend today is a heroin-addicted prostitute. No, I'm kidding. He's a wonderful person married to a wonderful man. But life for transgender people is really hard. For example, my personal struggle has to do with accepting my big nose. Mein Kampf. Imagine not accepting your whole body. Imagine also what kind of social pressure a transgender person is subjected every single day. A transgender woman, for example, will have to work 10 times harder to look like a woman, only not to be judged when they go around for a walk. And they live in constant fear to be judged and not accepted. In 2011, a survey for the National Center of Gender Equality found that 41% of transgender people attempted suicide. They are also 4 times more likely to make $10,000 per year. 78% reported cases of harassment. 35% experience physical assault. And 12 sexual violence. And this is terrible because 2 people should not be subjected to 2 different treatments. But the truth is that discrimination is virtually everywhere, and being not comfortable with your body is not a lifestyle choice. A lifestyle choice is when you decide to make YouTube videos naked or behave like an ass for no reason. But this is not the point. This is not what we are talking about. Not liking your penis is what we are talking about. I honestly believe that what people feel is none of my business. For example, when I have sex, I truly believe to be Lord of the Universe, Master of all women, Baron of Feet, Duke of Bottom, and Bishop of Armpits. And no one should judge me for that. But I think that if you're a parent, you should always do what is best for your child in the long term. And giving medication to a person that is not fully grown, to me, is abuse. But at the same time, I'm really sorry for what transgender people have to live with. And I really support the LGBTQ community. But when it comes to kids, there is no excuse.
I could be learning, you could be yearning to see what's behind these closed doors.